Hello, scrubs. Hello, scrubs. I'm Danalynnex, and today I'm walking you through the edgelord, aka Reaper.
Hi guys, that was me attempting to be Reaper. I cannot do that voice, however, I can talk about how to play Reaper. Formerly a member of Overwatch and head of the Blackwatch team, Reaper is one of the main villains of Overwatch and a council member of Talon. If you remember, I briefly mentioned him in my Soldier 76 and Sombra walkthrough videos, and he's actually one of my favorite offensive heroes to play, mostly because I like to call myself the Edgelord Supreme, which, come to think of it, kind of sounds like a Taco Bell menu item. Whatever, let's just get to the basics. So why do you pick Reaper over other offensive heroes? He is extremely dangerous in close range combat. The more damage you do to him, the more health you get back. This is a change from before when you killed someone, there would be little orbs that gave you health back. Now, the more damage, the more health you get. If you've ever played MOBAs before, like a few other characters like that who have abilities where giving damage makes them have sort of a health steal or life steal. Because of this, he's an excellent counter to tanks because not only can he get up close to tanks and do high damage to them, but also he gets that health back, so he's able to really get in there and fire. He has a super powerful ultimate and he has really high mobility and escaping. The only reasons you wouldn't use him is he's not very good unless you're really in close combat. He's an easy target when he's not in Wraith form, so if you have people with really good accuracy, he may not be the best to use during that time, and he can be killed very easily in between teleportation. So let's go into some detail and some strategy. His Hellfire Shotguns, which are so friggin' dope, although he does look a little funny running across the map because he's just like this the whole time, and it's like really awkward to watch him run. However, his shotguns are awesome. They dish out an immense amount of damage close up and damage from medium range. So again, you always want to be really close. This is why he's such a fun flanker, sneaking up on enemies and getting really close behind them. Think of a Reinhardt, for instance. Reinhardts don't really look behind them all that much because they're too busy shielding what's in front of them. So Reapers are fun because you can just walk right on up and start blasting away at the back of a Reinhardt and usually take him down. But he's also fun because you can get anyone who's in the back of the line, like a Mercy or Ana, per se, and you will just blast them down really quickly. His other ability, which is really helpful, especially when you're behind enemy lines, is his Wraith form. So what his Wraith form does is it basically makes you completely unable to be hit. Ultimates can't hurt you, and on top of that, it makes you go a little bit faster. So when you're in Wraith form, you can run away, but you can also run into a fight with Wraith form without getting killed. So for instance, if you want to get in on a team fight, but you don't want to get shot and killed before you can even make it there, because again, you have to kill people close range, you can use your Wraith form to come into a team fight and then start shooting afterwards. Whereas someone like, I don't know, Soldier has to completely run in and could be killed before he ever got close enough, which is really why you don't play Soldier close up like that, but just as an example. And one other thing too is you can take debuffs off of you. So Zenyatta, when he puts his orb on you, you just go into Wraith form and it takes it off completely, and then you don't have to worry about getting killed by the enemy. So this next ability is the reason that Reaper is such a deadly assassin, his Shadow Step. This gets him across the map really fast, but it doesn't only just get him across, it gets him to anywhere. You don't know where Reaper is going to go. Shadow Step can get you behind a defense's enemy lines easily. It can get you up above where you can easily drop down on people, and it gets you out of the thick of things if you also need to do that. Really quick, really far away, it has great range. One thing to know about Shadow Step is enemies can kill you in the midst of it. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. You can't shoot or anything in the middle of a Shadow Step, and as you're loading into the next area that you're stepping to, there's like a second or half a second difference where if you, let's say, Shadow Step next to an enemy, they can just shoot you in the face and you'll die. So when you are Shadow Stepping, try to go somewhere where an enemy is not, so that you are safe, because that is the easiest way to kill Reaper, is in this vulnerable state. And his last ability is Death Blossom, which is probably one of my favorite ults. Basically what Death Blossom does is a big circle area of effect, and anyone who is caught in it is going to die, and you can completely wipe a team with this. However, you have to be very sneaky about it because even though Reaper has a higher than average health pool, people will pick you off the moment they see you doing your ultimate. So what you do is you use your other mobility abilities to sneak up on an enemy team, and usually you want to use this ultimate when teams are grouped up and they can't run away from you very quickly. Or you could use it on a healer and a squishy. Depends on what the fight is and what the map is, but most of the time you want to get on high ground and then drop down on the enemy team so they don't even know you're coming. The faster you can surprise the enemy and take them down with your ult, the better. So think about ways that you can maneuver around on a map and sneak up on them and then drop down and use that ultimate. And if you can't just sneak above them and drop down, you can also use your shadow step to just shadow into them. Of course, remember, you were very vulnerable during this time, so only if you can kind of sneak in a shadow step. So if you can maneuver it so that it's completely behind them and they're not paying attention, go for it, shadow step in there, and then pop that death blossom as fast as possible. So again, Reaper is really, really strong against some people. So he's strong against Bastion. Bastion or a Torbjorn are really pissing you off. You sneak up on behind them, take out Torbjorn's turret, or you could take out Bastion. Another one he's really, really good against is basically anyone who's squishy who can't get away from him fast enough. So obviously someone like Tracer is going to be able to blink away from him, but someone like Mei or someone like healers, for instance, especially Ana, who can't just run away, is going to get blasted down by him very quickly. But also, again, tanks. Tanks are so vulnerable. Think about Ariza, Reinhardt, Winston. Like, even though they have high health and they're harder to take down, because his guns do such blast damage at these guys, it not only charges up his ult really quickly, but also they are able to be taken down a lot quicker than other DPS are able to. But Reaper is also very weak against some characters. I've had issues in the past with Widowmaker, especially when shadow stepping. She can watch where you're going because she's probably, if you're playing right, in a very advantageous spot where she can see the entire map. So if she sees where you're shadow stepping, she can then aim and pick you off real easily before you're even able to like run away or go into your shadow wraith form. Another good one is McCree. If McCree gets close to you, he can do his flashbang and quickly kill you off. Genji is another one because your weapons do such high damage. If he deflects you, that high damage is going to come right back into your face. People like Pharah, who can see almost all of the map because she's way up high, is going to be able to pick you off, but also you can't really touch her. Your weapons don't fire far enough, and your ult really doesn't do anything to her. So if you have characters like that on the opposite team, Reaper might not be the best choice for you then. Alright Scrubs, that's the end of our edgelord walkthrough. Please tap that like button and subscribe to our channel SLAYTRIX and our sister channels HissyFit and Snarled. And if I missed anything in this Reaper walkthrough, please leave your tips and tricks below in the comments. I'm always reading them, so please leave them. And remember, if it lives, you can kill it. The D out.
If it lives, I can kill it.